Only doing this for a little. Okay, it is up. I'm scared. I see that there is a chat message as I'm trying to acknowledge the live. I'm scared. What does it say? Jaron? Dude, I love flowery. Oh fuck, my cats need. Let me feed my cats. Give me a second. They're biting me. Why are you biting me? Please stop biting me. Yeah, I hear you. I have not finished Deltarune Chapter 5, but I'm loving it so far. I'm stuck. I do not have good reflexes. Ah, I'm getting your food. Please stop biting my feet. I hear both of you, please. It hurts. There, eat your slop. Okay. The kitties have been given their slop, and now I can actually do this. Ah, nice. Dude, I cannot do the secret boss. I even the main, but I'm assuming is the final boss. I just can't. Oh my god. I get like to I think it's like the fourth portion of the fight and I die instantly. Which is really ironic because I've beaten the knight like 2 times. Yeah. I really like I really like yellow personally, at least in that chapter. Yellow and blue. Oh, I did the weird route thing. That was terrifying. I don't know why we're talking about Deltarune and a Miipasta string. Yowie and Yuri was also good. Dude, there's doomed Yowie, not Yuri. I don't even like saying that word. Anyway, we read Eto, we read Never Play Wii Sports at 3 a.m. during the Wii's launch day. We read Wii Sports, we read The Me, we read The Deleted Island, Will of Your Creation. There's still a couple here. Oh, we also read Meto. Um, I can't do this stream for very long because my family is only out of the house for a little bit, so I'll just read Eliza. I actually put this on Twitter and also um what is it? I forgot what I was gonna also do. Alright. I'll just start reading. I hate this story personally, but why not? I'm pretty sure at this point in time you have probably heard of the game Wii Sports for the Nintendo Wii. If you do not know what this game is, a demo game that comes with a Nintendo Wii console. You play 5 games from tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. You have a training game and a fitness test as well, which used to be my favorite game. Oh, hey, it's the OU spelling. I won't lie, this game is one of the best games on the Wii. When I was 9 years old, I got my hands on a Wii and played almost 2 hours of Wii Sports. Baseball was my strong suit. Over the couple of years, I continued to play games on the Wii, playing tons of games including Mario Kart Wii, Smash Bros. Brawl, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and more. However, years passed and I went on to play PC games including Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, and plenty more. One day I was feeling pretty bored, I had accidentally left my laptop at my parents' house, who lived far, far, far away from my place. There was nothing interesting to watch on TV, and I could not find my cell phone charger anywhere. I spent about 15 minutes searching my apartment for my charger. Eventually, I did find my charger in a box of game controllers. Then I came across my old Wii sitting next to the box of controllers, and I considered playing the Wii, since I didn't have anything better to do. I was glad my TV had components so I could plug my Wii in, and pulled out the first Wii remote I could find, which was a Yoshi Wii remote. I don't think I know a single TV that doesn't have components unless it's extremely old for you to be able to do that. My CRT can run my Wii. Okay. Also, you, Yoshi. I was digging up any remaining Wii games I still had, and I was glad I didn't get rid of my favorite games. I loaded up the Wii and decided to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I wanted to see if I could beat the Subspace Emissary on the intense difficulty. I put the disc in the Wii, however, the start button would not work. I was confused, so I tried to play my other games. However, they came up as the same result, as blah blah. I cannot read today. However, they came up with the same result as Brawl. The start button would not work. I was down to one more game, which was the game the console came with, Wii Sports. I knew I knew I loved that game. I had already become the champion at every sport when I was young, but I knew I had more Miis in my Mii channel and I could become pro in all sports again. Blah, at all the sports again. My lisp is killing me today. Oh God. I was confused for 2 reasons, and dyslexia too, apparently. 2 reasons. When I put the disc in, I don't know why I am including words that are not there. I am very tired. The start button actually worked, and the intro for the game showed a picture of one of the CPU Miis, Chris to be exact, and it showed him with his hair covered in blood. His glasses had cracks in them, and there were tears running down his face. After looking at that picture, I still clicked the start button and the game began. After I pushed the A and B buttons, I was at the main menu. On the title screen, it looked very normal, and I thought the picture of Chris was just a glitch of some sort. I don't see how that would be a glitch, but okay. I clicked my favorite sport in the game, which was baseball. Oh, how do I mute? How do I mute? Okay, I have returned, but uh, okay, I can continue reading now. How do I minimize that? There we go. Shoot, where was I? Um, on the title screen, it looked very normal, and I thought the picture of Chris I saw was a glitch of some sort. I clicked my favorite sport in the game, which was baseball. When I went to click the player one option, I noticed something wrong. The Miis in my Mii channel were all gone, which was starting to creep me out. I shrugged it off as a glitch again and just clicked player C and moved on. Thank you. I saw my first match. Now, normally when you start the first match on baseball, I forgot to turn my volume off on my phone and I just got jump scared by my own voice. Oh my god. Now, normally when you start the first match on baseball, your opponent is Aliza. However, it was Sakura in this case. Please stop using periods as fucking commas. Please. Oh my god. Which was odd because she's the champion in baseball. Now, I was starting to get confused. I tried starting over, but nothing happened. It was still Sakura. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I figured I had no choice and just started the game. 10 minutes flew by and I got a clean win 17-0. Man, I still got it. I then started to notice my opponents were all in random order. Eventually, 45 minutes later, I took down Theo and went to the final opponent I faced in baseball, Eliza. Before I moved on to fight Eliza, I paused to put new batteries on the Wii remote and get food. Now I was ready to take down Eliza and win baseball again. However, now I noticed something was clearly wrong. First, the sky was dark as night. I know every game has daylight. The other thing was Eliza had glowing red eyes, and her hair was, I would say, 50% red, whatever that means. I honestly do not want to know what the red was anyway. I just tried to shrug it off and put my game face on to take her down. I am zooming in more. Oh god. I got 3 outs and no bases or runs in the first inning, and it was Elise's turn to swing. My team was not doing too well. I It was Abby's turn to bat, and she got a strikeout. What happened next was very freaky. The moment Abby was struck out, she had a face like she was afraid of something. Moments later, before the next batter went up, Eliza went up to home plate and took the bat out of Abby's hands, then bashed her skull with the bat multiple times until Abby fell down and did not get up. Luca and Matt came out, picked her up, and dragged her off the screen. Moments later, Emma went up to bat. The game resumed. Turbo move. The second inning came around and everything was normal, like nothing had happened. The only difference was that Abby was nowhere to be seen. I hit the ball and it was going towards Matt. Matt missed the ball and I got a double. Just like Abby, Matt had a face of horror like he was seeing a ghost. And Elisa came up again and slapped Matt in the face. Unfortunately, that was not it for Matt. Elisa continued by kicking his crotch and took a gray object which looked like a rock and beat Matt with until, just like Abby, Matt was down and out, and you could see blood coming out of his bald head. Why? It was definitely a horror show to see. I don't like this story. Again, the game continued like nothing happened. Now both Abby and Matt were gone. No, nothing happened much. It was a 1-1 tied game. Heading into the last inning, I was starting to get worried about what was going on, why Eliza was doing this, and where did Matt and Abby go. After thinking I had enough, I went to the TV and turned the Wii off. However, it didn't turn off. Neither did the TV. I tried unplugging both the Wii and the TV, but nothing happened. The game was still on. I was about to throw the TV. You're about to throw the TV? What? Okay, I don't remember that. But I nearly fell to the floor when I saw Kentaro? I think it's Kentaro. I'm unsure. On the screen with a face of horror, just like Abby and Matt. He wrote he wrote a note that said, "Don't stop playing. She will not like that." Immediately after that, Eliza popped out of the screen and tackled Kentaro down to the ground. I knew at this point I had to keep playing. It was my turn to bat. The second I picked up the Wii remote, Eliza threw the ball. I hit the ball, then Jesse caught it. Attempt number two, Eliza struck me out. My last attempt at winning the game, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Eliza had a shocked face as soon as she threw the next ball, along with the exclamation mark on her head. With a quick reflex I swung the bat and the ball went going. I got a home run. The second after the run was complete, it said change sides. Again, strange. Normally after that my turn should continue, but I knew I had a chance to beat Eliza. The next two batters for Eliza's team went completely normal. Eliza was up to bat and I was about to beat Eliza. The moment just came upon me. I just struck Eliza out and I had just won the game. Before I could get a chance to celebrate, the game showed what looked to be a cutscene. Eliza was on the screen with a face of anger. She then broke the bat in half and delivered the loudest scream I ever heard. Eliza went on a rampage. She saw her teammates and went running at them and began to cause a series of events which was too graphic to watch. But I wanted to see what on earth just happened. Eliza took Akira and choked him. She grabbed Jesse's hair and took one half of the bat she broke and drove it into Jesse's pixelated flesh. And one of the most graphic scenes I had ever seen, Elisa grabbed Luca and began to bite his arms off and started to eat his arms. Then she jumped onto Luca and ate what was rest of him. Okay, just when I was on the edge of throwing up, the scene stopped and she started to slowly turn towards the screen. And with the picture she had at the start of the game. With the picture she had at the start of the game. Blood on her hair and shirt and glowing bloodshot red eyes. She ran fast at the screen, and at the second she was at the point of the screen, my power suddenly went out, and the Wii and TV turned off. I thought I could finally breathe, But the second I did, the TV, the TV and the Wii both exploded into little pieces. I remember that part because what the fuck? The power came back on after that. At this point, I had no idea how to react as I saw Elisa kill her teammates, having both Abby and Matt bleed to death. Akira choked, Jessie had her flesh torn into, and Luca was eaten by Elisa. I know Elisa tackled Kentaro to the ground, and I didn't see him any other time in the game. I don't even know what happened to her other teammates. What am I reading? Here I am, a week after the incident, typing up my story on the laptop that my parents would send back to me, which I was relieved about. Please stop with the run-ons. I cannot. Oh God. Ever since the day I made a decision to never go back to Wii Sports or any other or Nintendo game ever again, I went to a forum to ask anybody if they had any experiences like the one I just went through. Nobody had any of the experiences I went through and told me it was probably just in my head. Then I got an email from an anonymous username saying you will regret the day you beat me. No, one's fine. Also, hello. Don't need to apologize for being late. Technically, you're here while it's still going, so you're not technically late. I forgot I actually included every single me that was in this story here. And then the evil me from the evil me game, evil me'd all over the place. Yep. Hello. Hi, Crow. Also, hi, Crow. Hi, Crow. I like your additions to the stories very much. It's so good. Very good. Yes. Um, I'm gonna read me because it's short. Alright, so it started on July 12th, 2012. I got a Wii and I went on. I played some games for a while. Later, I decided to go on Me Channel. There was a bunch of Miis, but they had no hair and a blank face with pure white clothing. Last time I checked tutorials of how to make faceless Miis, you had to hide the facial features with the hair. But but these Miis are faceless with no hair and have pure white clothing. When I went to check their names, every Mii name was blank. They didn't have a name. Every Mii on Wii Sports also had no face, and all of them had no name. Suddenly, the screen glitched to the Me channel, and then instead of saying Me channel, it said Join Us before the screen cut to black. There, there. That's me for you. It's me by Creepypasta 66. My name is Edming. I made the mimic. Give me a Miipasta with nothing. I like to call them like oh god, what was it? They're I usually call them like an amalgamation or something. Oh, hive mind, but with two eyes for each time. Yeah. So HIIVEMIIND. Hive mind. That's why I typically like to nickname them. Nothing. Um, Also, yeah, thanks Troll Pasta for not including the authors when you repost shit. I really appreciate it. Or when the story was originally posted because you end up removing it from the main wiki it was on, so I can't even find it. Anyway, this is one I actually got told about uh in 2025 when I did that Miipasta month video. Um that year, like after I made it, I just didn't have time to make a second video to go over a couple more that I was informed of. So yeah, this is here. Um, it was 2008, the day Mario Kart Wii launched. I got the first copy at our local Walmart and became addicted. Me and my brother played it for hours on end, especially the two-player online, which is where our story starts. My oldest cousin died of heart disease about a day before Mario Kart Wii released. Thanks for just saying that with no warning. He was super hyped for the game and wanted it for Christmas once he left the hospital, but he never did. I was saddened by his death, as he was our go-to player 3 for Mario Kart. I think that's Double Dash. I'm not very familiar with like Mario Kart games. Jeez, what a downer. Yeah, back in the day. Well, what is this? If I had to make a creepypasta with my OCs and their stories, I would call it Broken Memories or something like that. But then again, I don't think that might be a creepypasta. I mean, that sounds interesting. I think that's interesting. Okay, thank you. It is Double Dash. I was if it wasn't Double Dash, I was gonna cry and have to redo the entire section of what is it? Uh the current 2026 video that I'm working on. Because I called it Double Dash and I didn't feel like looking up if it was Double Dash or not. Me and my brother first booted up Mario Kart Wii and instantly fell in love with it. After unlocking everything, we decided to do two-player online. For the first few games, it was normal until a me named. I'm calling you Patrick because your name is literally just Patrick backwards. Patrick joined the game. Already, this was weird, as it was my dead cousin's name backwards. Why didn't you address your cousin by their name when you mentioned your cousin died? Like, come on. But throughout the next few games, he would only vote GCN DK Mountain. What? I I don't know. What? Okay. Which was my favorite which was my cousin's favorite course in Mario Kart Double Dash. I left the game at the advice of my brother and went back to the Wii menu, but something odd happened. The news channel said you are dead, and the photo channel only showed pictures of graves with my name on them. And the Me channel had all the Miis on the title screen replaced with Patrick. Then the Patricks walked out of the screen. Newsflash, a young boy has vanished after playing the hot new game Mario Kart Wii. His brother stated that so-called Patricks walked out of the screen and turned his brother into one of them. No evidence supports this, but he insists it is true. The Wii console involved has been returned for further examination to Nintendo. Heavy reference. Yeah, totally. Yeah, guys, do you like Mario Kart the me? Oh my god, I should read Dex's. Damn, that escalated quickly. Yeah, I should read Dex's. Guys, y'all need. Okay, some of you know no one have heard the story because I read it out in the server, but like you all need to hear this story. Oh my God. Who knew that a Nintendo Switch console would contain a sentient Mii maker that has the power of free will and choice? It all started with the Miitopia game was added. When the blah blah blah. When the Miitopia game was added to the Switch, people were forced to make new Miis to create a team and other characters. The first Mii would be a recreation of themselves, and the other ones would be about family members and friends or fantasy characters. All the Miis would act normally and nicely towards each other without abnormalities sorry, until the Mii that was made to resemble them is left forgotten and unused 3 weeks without that Mii would make him seem sad, and his expression cannot be changed except if it's used again. The other Miis would ignore him as he would count as socially awkward. 2 months without using the Mii would result in it being angry, and it seems the user of the Switch might feel sorry for it, but it won't but if they don't, then it will get much worse. I'm struggling here. There is no commas. I keep forgetting that. 1 year without using the Mii would end up in all the other Miis being gone, and the player's Mii would be seen as mentally insane, as his pupils are tiny and his smile is wide and unsettling. It would just stare at the screen. The player would begin to freak out and scream, or they would keep it within. Maybe playing Miitopia will help. Well, no, it definitely will not help. Once you're in the game, all of the characters would turn out to be the insane me. They would contact the player with text bubbles stating, "You left me to rot and ignore my presence. But now I deleted all your me's. You won't have a choice but to play with me." All characters would say that at this point, and the player would reuse the Mii deleted or throw away their Switch or ask Nintendo to change its components or do a hard reset on it and erase its memory. Unfortunately, it is too late to go back as the Mii will upload itself into other Nintendo systems and cause more trouble, but to prevent this, the player must reuse the Mii. Some players begin to hear their names from their TV when their Switch would still be on, and some even had the chance to talk to their Mii. Here's a saved conversation that took place. Me: Luke, enough is enough, you can't ignore my presence forever. Luke: how are you able to do these things? Me: I exploit the numbers of the coding. Luke: how? Me: have you ever heard of hacking? Oh, never mind. You have invited me in from Miitopia. Luke: so you're some kind of virus or something? Me: oh, I am much more than a simple virus, and I know where you live, so you better use me again, or. The switch was turned off at that moment, and Luke was trying to find a solution to this problem. But nobody would believe him a few days after a diary was found in his room, and it described someone breaking into his house, and he looked exactly like his me. The diary ends abruptly, and the police officers found that he was kidnapped but he could not be traced. The guy who wrote this made Caillou Daddy Gixie, by the way. Yep, yep. Oh dear God. This happened to multiple victims, but there is nothing we could do as there are too many Nintendo Switches in the world. I yawn just came out. Oh my god, I did not expect that. Anyway, however, we have both won and abandoned the me. That's not the right word. That's not okay. For a long time, and we interviewed it. Guard blank. Hello, me. May I talk to you for a bit? Me. Yes, I love speaking to my founders. Guard. Why did you kidnap your creators? Me. So that I can be with them forever. And let's just say I have many friends now. Guard. What did you do with them? Me. I inserted their souls in the consoles and brainwashed them to always play with me. Guard blank. How did you do that? Me. The format just changes. Yep. Me. Well, I ended their mortal life cycles and pushed their souls into the designated console, and I injected some coding into them so that their free will gets drained away. Guard blank. That's real messed up. Me. Well, they should have played with me since the beginning instead of ignoring me. In my opinion, they deserve it. Guard. Why are you addicted with being played with? Me, because I want attention and entertainment. Guard. Well, maybe if you acted like a normal me, everything would go as it wanted to go. As you want it to go. We abandoned you. Why does that gotta be a line? Me, no players need to be warned to understand idiot. Guard, you're not what you seem, aren't you? The room went silent for a few minutes as the me approached the screen. He seemed pissed. Me, you now what you're right. I am not Amy. My true name is Dex Nixon, and I am a demon that wasn't always the case, however. The me morphed into Dex Nixon. Dex. Everyone in my past life ignored me and pretended as if I never existed, but I didn't understood. As I was a mechanic and a video game creator, I was a part of the team that created Utopia. And guess what? What? They also forgot about me. Dex. So I made a deal with the devil to be recognized and interacted with more often. And when I died, I found myself as what I am today. The devil changed my very soul into something powerful and unbeatable. Guard Blank felt sorry for Dex, but he was still angry at him. That is a Nintendo Wii, by the way. That is the fucking Me channel, by the way. That's not on the Switch. This is happening on the Switch, but that is not the Switch. Oh my god. Other Miis began to appear in the Mii Maker, and they were all from the previous victims, but they were emotionless and their eyes were white. They all disappeared shortly after, and the switch turned off. Nobody could turn it back on because the batteries were filled, sorry, and the switch components were in good shape. So it might have been Dex plural, I guess, doing to end the conversation. Also, this can take place in the Wii Me Plaza. Is Dex is Dex Nixon? What? Also, why are you all the way at the top? Oh dear God. God, that's real messed up and dark. Heh, that's just the way the Wii use. Okay, Crow. Thank you, Crow. Alpha Demon Wolf Angel Hybrid. That is Dex. That is just straight up Dex. Oh, good God. Dex is so glorious. If your Wii turns red, run. Oh my god. We are Nintendo Ultimate Game System. We challenge all players. You cannot beat you. Okay, I'll. No, it's fine. Oh my god. Oh, my black shirt smiling me pastas. Yeah. God, it's such an okay. I already talked about like the bald thing, but I'm gonna be so honest. The most common thing is them having the favorite color be the color black for some reason. Like that's more common. Because like a giant chunk of them just have black as their favorite color. This is the street pass function. If I remember right, this one's kind of on the very borderline edge of being a Miipasta. It's like right there where it's kind of up to you if you want to count it or not. I'm gonna keep it on here anyway, but like, yeah. I bet most of you who know, I bet most of you know about the Street Pass function in the 3DS system. For those of you who don't, Street Pass is a function that allows you to gain information about the 3DS that is owned by a person you pass by on foot or in a car. Yeah, Harvey's just watching us. It basically sends you their me in your Street Pass Plaza, and vice versa. It's pretty nifty. Nevertheless, enough of my rambling. Here is my story. I live in a quiet neighborhood near a city. My neighbors are nice people, always willing to help in any situation. There is a nice little forest situated behind my house. I us I usually I usually used it for climbing in trees with friends when I was a kid. I was in my room playing some video games when suddenly my friend came in. He didn't say that he was coming, so I assumed that it was something urgent. He cried, "John, follow me quick and take your 3DS with you." You don't want to see me rage. I followed him out of the door and into the woods. My friend was an asshole. Honestly, I don't even know why we became friends. He would always screw me up with some sick prank, and I would have to pay for it. But he had some good sides too. I guess that good side distinguished him from a bully. I followed him deep into the woods. When we reached a clearing, my friend, whose name was Marcos, told me that he caught something weird in this field. The field was small, only 5 to 7 meters in diameter. Why are we being specific about this? It kind of creeped me out seeing the dark woods next to me, but the chirping birds reminded me that it was daytime and that there was nothing to be worried about. We both took out our 3DSs. As soon as I opened my 3DS, my Street Pass Plaza icon started flashing a blue light. I tapped on it with my stylus, opening it, and to my surprise, someone had street passed me. I assumed that it was my friend's 3DS, but I already had his me in my plaza, so it shouldn't have been his. My me went to the arch entrance of the plaza and met another me. I watched in shock as the me's met each other. I looked at my friend in terror. I said to him, "The nearest house is far out of reach of the street pass signal." He looked at me, and he told me that he knew that, and that's why he went to fetch me. We looked at our screens. The unknown me had the features of a starting me whose facial features could be changed to your liking. So just say the default me. It it it's as if the unknown's creator of this me, he had just opened the me maker and saved his me as a default. The me's name was a cluster of jumbled letters, numbers, and symbols. Then my heart sank. The unknown's me greeting read, "I like your white 3DS." Something told me to run, get me out of the forest as soon and quick as possible. I dashed into the direction of the houses, and my friend followed up shortly after. I ran into my house and shut the door tight. My parents weren't home. Realization hit me. Oh God, my parents are in the city. I whispered to no one in particular. I know this might sound cliche, but my parents weren't home and I was alone. I locked the door. I knew my parents would come late at night. They must have the keys to the house, but I sure as hell wouldn't leave the door unlocked with that guy watching me. I looked out the window, seeing no trace of anyone. I closed the curtains. That night sleep couldn't come in my grasp. I thought my parents just came home. Oh my God, that scared me. Um, That night sleep couldn't come in my grasp. How could he know what color my 3DS was? Neither me or my friends never saw any trace of human life in that forest. I looked up from my bed sheets. My curtain was open from the inside. On the other side of the window, looking at me, was a giant head, two blank staring eyes, and a straight mouth. What I was looking at through the window was the default me. That one, just the reverse of that one Tomodachi Life dream from the second Tomodachi game. Also, look, I fixed it. I fixed it. Now it says DS. My throat hurts. I want to see this one as a vision, to be honest. Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of Disease, because it's like, okay, Disease technically uses like Tomodachi Life, but like Disease honestly feels like it's kind of like a, if it were to use Street Pass, it probably would have been a like better story already, but it also would have probably worked kind of like a successor to this, kind of, in a way. I don't know how to phrase it. Like it would have been a high like improvement of a story if it was kind of similar to Street Pass function. But also like I think my biggest issue with Disease's story is probably the pacing. The pacing is just way too fast. I don't know why I'm bringing up Disease. The story just reminds me a lot of Disease, because Disease and whatever this thing is a stalker. There's a robin staring at me outside. What are you doing? Hello? Hi? What are you doing? Okay. Goodbye, I guess. Um, Forgot this was the one, this one I had to censor. The eyes. That's what the bird is doing. It's like giving me the side eye. Now it's hopping away. Do you guys remember Tomodachi Life? If not, it was a Nintendo 3DS game made released on June 18th, 2013. In it, you took care of your Miis and played games with them, and they formed relationships with other Miis. Heck, my Mii even had a child. I loved that game, and all the funny moments and the nice soundtrack. It was perfect until one day, actually it was about a week ago, everything changed forever. It had been 2 years since I picked up my copy and played it after dying pick, and played it after dying for the I'm not 100 I'm not doing this time in Breath of the Wild. I decided, hey, what the heck? Why not play some Tomodachi? I took the game case off the shelf and opened the dusty case, gently taking the cartridge out of the case and popping that bad boy into my 3DS. I pressed the power button and it turned on and selected the game. Everything so far was going just peachy until we got to the loading screen. All the lights, except one, were out in the apartment building, meaning they were all out of the building at once. Odd, I thunk. You thunk? Okay. Where are all the Miis? I thought it was a glitch, so I just pressed continue and waited for the Mii news to begin. Nothing. Okay, what was happening? This was still a glitch, I assured myself and continued. I How do you misspell decided twice in the exact same way? I decided to check my Miis. They still were not there. Only my Mii was. So I tapped the apartment to check on me. My Mii looked at one of the walls in the apartment, not looking at me. So I pressed enter. Blair Witch. Me thunk something there. Yep, Blair Witch. Blair Witch-esque me right now. The music that played when your me broke up played. Odd, I thought. Did my me break up with his wife? I checked. Nope. Still with her. So what was going on? I tapped the speech bubble. Why? That was the only thing they said. Holy shit, I was scared as fuck now. I tapped the orange arrow to leave the apartment of hell. The apartment of hell! When my me spoke again. I thought you loved us, father. Why did you abandon us? Why did you abandon us? He said. I started sobbing. I'm sorry, I cried. Sorry is not good enough, I gasped. He heard me. How is that possible? I killed everyone, he said. For food, I gasped. Even your wife? Even my wife. There's no quotations around that. Okay. I felt sick. This was so whack. How dare my me do this to me? You're next, he said. Then my 3DS turned off. I tried to turn it back on, but it refused. Big posting king, yep. I then decided to calm my nerves with a bit of Breath of the Wild. But when I turned it on, I saw the generic male me on my screen. Blood gushed from his eyeballs. I was spooked out of my wits. I threw the switch across the room. It shattered. What the hell was happening? Once again, decided spelled wrong. I decided to check the internet to see if anything like this happened to anyone else, only to find that downloaded to my computer were a set of files. Because I'm very smart, I decided misspelled again to open them. They were all empty except for one labeled TomodachiLife.png. Why is it a PNG? It should be JPEG. They export as JPEG. Anyway, I clicked on that one. Inside was hyper-realistic photos of my me My Tomodachi Life me eating other me's. I felt like throwing up. Then the last photo in the file was a photo of me, but my eyes were blacked out and written in blood was "You're next." Wrong you're. This is my final post because I know my me is coming for me to bite my head off. Goodbye and remember, he's coming to kill you. I am very smart. Proceeds to make 5 more spelling errors. Yep. Also a grammatical error right here. How long is this? Okay, it's short. It's probably gonna be the last Miipasta I read, and I'm gonna turn off the stream for now. So I can draw, because I need to finish art fight references. Actually, let me also put the Miipasta wiki in the chat. I just realized I forgot to do that again. Like, per usual, honestly. Oh my god. Here we go. I remembered the day when the Wii came out in 2006. Yay, my birth year! I was excited not because the Wii trailer was a exciting scene to watch, but because you could make your own Miis. When my birthday came, I was super excited to rip all the presents. But instead I ripped almost all the presents just to find toys, shirts, and tickets to watch horror movies at the cinema. It gave me a sad it gave me a sad look on my face. One present was left, and I ripped it as fast as I could. It was the Wii. It was from my dad, who works at Nintendo. He wanted me to see it first before it came in stores, because he wanted me to work at Nintendo as a beta tester because I loved video games. I was so excited that I immediately hooked up my Wii in my room and started playing it. I'm so tired. Anyway, I saw Me Channel first, so I opened it up and made my own Me. I saw Wii Sports in the box, so I put the disc in the Wii and started playing it. I was excited to start. I couldn't wait anymore, so I immediately pressed start. I pressed A and B and was greeted to the menu. There was 6 sports I could play. Those were tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, boxing, and airplane. The airplane was scrapped from the game, but I got the Wii console with the tech demo version. I first played baseball. I beated Aliza at baseball at 10-1. Oh god. Let me get a sip of coffee. Is this the Miipasta thing to read my favorite Miipasta read? You can read Luigi on it. I have a transcript that I wrote. It may have a couple errors in it. I'm going through it to make sure because I noticed that there were a couple because I wrote it in the span of like I wrote the transcript in a span of like a year, I think, and a lot of it was written very late at night, so there are a couple errors in it. Also, because this keeps happening, and I don't know why, the AO3 story, like written version of the story for Wheelie Ju is not in any way accurate. and it actually takes chunks out of the story. It is a rewrite. I don't know why it keeps getting passed off as a transcript. Please stop passing it off as a transcript, not directed at you, but just in general. I keep seeing it get passed off as one when it's not. It's not even an official rewrite. It's just someone's rewrite on AO3 it's like phrased as if it's like real, but it's not. There's like a whole, if I remember right, there's a chunk of what is it? Adelaide Origins that's missing, and there's chunks of Sam's story that's missing in it. I have no idea who wrote it. The account is deleted, if I remember right. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I keep seeing it be sent. Hell, I was sent it as a transcript, but it's not. So I don't know. I played 12 more rounds of that game and won all of them. I got bored of baseball, so I tried airplane. It was more boring as the last one. You just wander around the map while going through rings to get points. The only thing you can do is to look at the details of the map or try to get the most points before the time is up. I wasn't a big fan of golf, so I played it for 1 second, then immediately closed it. The only thing that caught my attention was boxing. I started the game with my Mii, and I was greeted to the first player of the game, Ryan. He was easy, and I beated him without getting hit one time. I then went to the next round and saw test 15. He didn't had a face. He didn't had a face. So I didn't know what to say. He boxed with white boxing gloves, and it was a little weird. But I still played against him. He didn't move at all, and he does not take damage when I punched him. I became kinda confused, so I tried the best I can to get him to take damage. It failed, and I was out of breath, so I admitted defeat. The first round was over, and the second round started. That was when things became very creepy. Test 15 was different. He had big eyes and was about to do something. Like he was about to do something. What does that mean? He had a small mouth and had hair I had. I don't know what your hair looks like, buddy. He started throwing punches at the way I did at the first round. I couldn't punch him, but I can move around, trying to dodge the punches. I I didn't get knocked down, and the final round started. The map of the boxing game in Wii Sports was changed to the trainer room in the training session. Test 15 was changed to my name and had the same outfit as me. Can you please be more descriptive? I am begging. He did what he did in round two, and for me, I couldn't do anything about it. I got knocked down, but immediately got up, just get just to get knocked down again. This happened until the third round stopped. It all came down to this. The winner by decision was me, but I lost skill points. I then closed Wii Sports and never touched my Wii again until my 13th birthday. You were doing this at 12 years old. Okay. I got three new games: Wii Party, Wii Play, and Smash Bros. Brawl. What is with these guys and having Smash Bros. Brawl? I played Wii Play first, but I couldn't pick my Mii, so I chose Guest B and started to play, but he had a more scared face. My Wii blew up after I was done playing. The Wii was still on. But every time I tried to turn it off, it never happened. How does your Wii blow up and then continue to still work? What? Aliza and Test15 both have their Wii just explode for no reason. Is this a Wii Sports Review class? I haven't seen any of those. Cool. Yeah, this is Test15. I'm gonna try reading some parts of each stories that we deleted to, so I hope to see the next stream next time. See you soon. Goodbye! Goodbye, Tech Meg. Insane total whiplash. Yep. I wondered if Test15 was just a mistake. Your Wii exploded and you're focused on the me. Okay, man. The next day, I got my laptop out and started watching Let's Plays of Wii Boxing because I was bored. I then started to wonder why my parents got the tech demo version anyway, but I didn't think too much of it because I got the tech demo in 2006. I closed my laptop and started to play boxing in Wii Sports. It's just the letter N. Okay. I beated Matt, then the champion of boxing, while out of breath, so I got some water. I closed Wii Sports to go to the menu, but there was blood on my cursor hand. When I tried to click on one of the channels except the me channel, nothing happened. I started the me channel and saw him. I quickly deleted him with the best chance I got and went to the home menu. How do you still have your Wii if it exploded? Whatever. I burned my Wii and threw it away. Okay, never mind. At 3 in the morning, my doorbell rung. I checked to see what it was, and it was just a box. Inside of it was my burned Wii, and a note that said, "Wii Sports will make you never stop playing." It had a very creepy smile. I booted up the Wii just to be greeted by static. What a surprise there. I threw my Wii, never to see it again. How many times? How many times are you gonna damage this Wii, bro? I got sleep, but when I woke up, I saw a note on my wall that said, I think you and your bones will meet up and get along. What the fuck does that mean? I love how the bloody cursor is just there with zero plot relevance. Yeah, exactly. I got a new Wii with a new game of Wii Sports after that. Why do you have 3 copies of Wii Sports now? What? There's no reason to buy a third copy of Wii Sports. Random blood plus gore with no explanation is pretty purely for shock value is unfortunately common. Yeah, it very much is. Everything was fine and I was happy again. But I always remember him and watching and waiting. I will always remember him watching and waiting. In 2015, I played my Wii again, but this time my Mii was gone. I started the Mii channel so I can make him again, but every time I tried, nothing happened. My brain wasn't sure what to do as I close. Your brain wasn't? Okay. As I closed the Mii channel, but then I knew that it was from Wii Sports. I opened Wii Sports and played boxing with a guest me. I saw him again and he was not happy. There was blood on the mat and no crowd was there. His brain is shrinking. Yep. Oh my god. I opened Wii Sports and played boxing with the guest me. I saw him again and he was not happy. There was blood on the mat and no crowd was there. It was just the two of us. There was no announcer to say start, so I couldn't punch. Every 15 seconds, very specific with this character being named Test 15 and it being every 15 seconds, I could see my me in chains. What the fuck does that mean? He seemed very nervous about the fight, but I didn't want to know. What did you not want to know? But then before I could even move, Test 15 grabbed and punched my guest me. He fell down. He was still punching. Every time he punched, there was more and more blood on the mat. After 2 minutes, very specific, the screen said KO with no voice. Test 15 won. But I didn't see my guest me in the corner, defeated. He was gone like he disappeared. Yeah, that's what gone means. I could see the amount of anger Test 15 had with his eyebrows. But when that cutscene was over, my Wii crashed. The Wii let out some big smoke for a good 1 minute, again very specific, until it never worked again. When I got to bed, I saw him. Test 15 was in my room, looking at me. He said, "Good night, kid. Have good dreams in heaven." I ran out of my room and out of my house and called the police. I got a new home and a new life, but I always know that Test 15 will always be in my dreams forever. Blood on the mat. Will someone clean him up? Yep. Oh my god. Such a wonderful story. Ugh. I can see if I can read. Um, apparently it takes one person reading these for them to go trending. Oh God. Okay, let me check quickly to see if my parents are home. No, I can try to see if I can squeeze in Strange Quest because I think Strange Quest is it's long, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty relatively long. I can see how long I can read this. I don't think that's how trending works on Miipasta Wiki or wikis and fandom wikis specifically, because fandom wikis will um it typically requires people to actually be looking at the page. Yeah, that's probably okay. That's probably why. Why do they use the number 15 so often but never expand on it? I don't know. Okay, let me get a sip of coffee. Really watered down coffee for that matter. I really hope to get a new coffee maker soon because this coffee maker is shit. Actually, let me put some water on. I'm just gonna have like black tea or something. What? I already gave you your slop. Leave me alone. Please. No. I walk in the kitchen and immediately get like tackled by my cat. Okay. I'm sure some of you remember Miitopia, right? The 3DS game that's all about putting your various favorite Miis into an RPG to set out on a grand adventure. Is that how they demand food? Yeah, that's how my cats demand food. Mainly Romeo. Romeo will bite my shins. He will bite my shins and my ankles. Tig just like sits longingly in front of the bowl and waits. Romeo does not. The 3DS game that's all about putting your various favorite Miis into an RPG to set out on a grand adventure. Well, if you are, then hi, whoever is reading this, name's Harvey. I've been an avid fan of Mii's ever since I was a kid, and ever since their inception on the Wii. I remember putting in dozens of hours in the Mii Maker alone, just letting my imagination go wild with putting my friends' favorite characters and celebrities on my Wii. Don't even get me started on the Mii-centered games like Wii Sports, Wii Play, or hell, even Wii Party. Trust me, it's more fun to play with friends rather than by yourself. Oh wait, what does this say? The only thing I can find is 15 like peace symbolizes like peacefully going to heaven or something. And guess 15 says they'll send. Yeah, test 15 does say that. Maybe. Also shit compilation. I don't really mind the capitalization. I cannot speak today. Why does what look like what? I'm reading too far into this. Yeah. Test 15 is actually like, I don't know, guardian angel, and there's it needs to actually do this for some stupid fucking reason. Um, I mean, it formats differently on different devices, if you're meaning the formatting. Oh, what the? Wait, let me. I can fix that. Wait, let me. There you go. I think you just accidentally pressed enter. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Due to my love for Mii's, you can imagine how excited I was when I learned that Mii's were also going to be on the 3DS. It was like having a Mii maker on the go. Though though I had to wait a bit to get mine because my family runs tight when it comes to money. But once I got it, it was like the Wii all over again. But I was slightly disappointed that there were not that many me-centered games. I still got my fill with Street Pass and playing Tamagotchi Life, just seeing my Miis do some not so in character interactions with each other. Oh, my water's boiling. Earl Greyer, save me. Save me, Earl Greyer. I'm grabbing two of these. I found out some people apparently don't know you need to boil the water for tea, and that is really funny. I don't even like tea too much. Okay, I'm back. Uh, but as the years rolled past and my need for me content was growing, in 2017 my wishes were granted with Miitopia, a casual RPG where all your Miis could fill several roles, whether that be the roles of the heroes of the story or the ever so dastardly Dark Lord. The last time I have ever seen the word dastardly, it was in a presentation I wrote about European starlings and how they are invasive. And the title page of the story of the presentation was the dastardly European starlings. And I can't unsee that word with that. I like using silly words, honestly valid. Oh god, there's a bunch of European starlings in my yard right now. Go away! They've been eating the blueberries and food we've been growing, driving us crazy. The dastardly is the Dark Lord. Yep, the ever so dastardly Dark Lord, or some quirky side characters that just add extra charm to the adventure you're on. I immediately knew I had to get this game, so I got the demo as soon as it came out, and then the full game once my mom was able to buy it. Needless to say, I ate that game up like a gluttonous beast when I finally got my hands on it, and of course, thanked my mom and promised to work extra hard at school for her. Sure, the combat and overall gameplay was extremely simple, but I didn't care. All I wanted to see was Sans the skeleton and Foxy the pirate having a committed relationship with one another as God intended. Oh my god. The humble dastardly European sterling. It is accurate. Oh god. It reminds me of when I was playing and the amount of random ships that quickly came from it was a nightmare. This is how you know that the author knows their me games. This is what we all did. Don't deny it. I'm not going to deny it. Okay, technically when I was younger on the 3DS, I would always end up just making one that is just purely that one fandom, and the NPCs were other fandoms. Like the main Miitopia file I remember was one where, like on my 3DS, was one where I had it as all the characters from kindergarten, if you know that game. The game with Nugget. It was just all kindergarten characters. And no one else. But like in my current file, that's absolutely happening because there's like ERAM from Deltarune X Mr. Happy occurring, and it is horrifying because those two characters should not mix. Oh my god. That is like quickest way. to cause a bunch of deaths. I can do an old strange quest, oddly strange quest author shade. Apothecary in kindergarten. I just went. It's been 3,000 years. Yeah, I think there was a third game. I just haven't checked it out yet. I played back when it was just one and two. I liked the twins. The twins were fun. No idea what was up with Teddy slash Theodore, but you know. Where was I? Okay. And once I finished up the game and beaten the Darkest Lord, I simply wanted more and more. That's when I discovered New Luminos and eventually the Tower of Dread too, which basically functions as your final super hard challenge in the game. So as you can tell, I wanted to beat the challenge and push the limits of my team. So naturally, I started the grind, which started with beating every district in Lumnos and going to the Traveler's Hub every day to pick up and complete quests as I go. This went well for the past couple of days, but that's when I encountered something, well, to put it lightly, very lightly, weird. Are they gonna weird route in Utopia? That word is scary. Things have taken a weird route here. Maybe. One day at the Traveler's Hub, I spotted a worried NPC. While it wasn't unusual to get quests from NPCs, they usually revolved around either getting a present to a friend of theirs or saving their friend's face that got attached to a monster. However, this me came from my save file, which was usually preserved for the present quest. But they still looked worried. So I went up to the me only to see that the quest they were offering recommended for level 50 Miis and was labeled as tough. And my Miis were around 40 plus at the time, level 40 plus at the time. Needless to say, this only made me more interested, so I interacted with them to see what's the matter. The following dialogue was recreated from memory, so it might not be accurate. Hey, you've heard what's been going on in Galados Isle? I don't know how to pronounce that. I picked no. Well, I went there recently just relax, you know? But I then heard loud noises. I think that's how you say it. Okay. But then I heard loud noises that seemed to be garbled screams. I wanted to investigate further, but some monsters surrounded the area those noises were coming from. Please, if you take this quest, I'll be able to reward you for your efforts. It just it's just those sounds. God, what even was that? My curiosity had piqued, and not to mention that the reward shown to me was around 50,000 gold. Damn. Okay, I'd take it too, honestly. And since the quest was for a higher level, I knew that the EXP would be enough to fully level up my party. So I took it and set off with my party of Waluigi, Papyrus, Weird Owl, and myself. I was 15 at the time, okay? Okay. Once I got dropped off at the aisle, a mini cutscene played to show that a new path on the map had branched out for the quest. Tired. Gee, I wish I could get this money. Same. But something else I notice is that there isn't any specialized art for the entrance like with other with any other region of the game. It just showed a regular teleport spot. Regardless, I went up to the spot and entered it, leading me into a map that looked a lot like the Midland March section of Galados Isle, with its rocky floor where where streams of water would flow through the cracks, along with mossy grass, accompanied by foil I cannot say this word, kill me. Foily fo I'm giving up on the word. I'm not doing it. I cannot. Coming out of it with several streams of light cascading down from the sky. Foil edge. Oh, it is supposed to be marsh. Okay. Foil edge. Foil edge. It's hard to say that together. Foil edge. I bleh. I I have work being done on my mouth, so it's really hard to say certain words, especially words with like F. It's just a lot of I don't know what it's called. Never mind. Once I got started on actually playing the levels, they seemed really bland, to put it lightly. From my memory, there were about three in total, and not counting the final one. And they all just played out the exact same, with the levels being a straight line from A to B with no diverging paths nor loot to be found. It was absolutely monotonous. However, there was one oddity that I noticed while taking this quest, that being the enemies. Ow, my tooth is really fucking hurting. What the fuck? Ow. One of the teeth I got operated on. Why is it doing that? It post Technically it's post dental surgery prep troubles. I don't know why that's happening. Ah, okay. I think it's fine. I think something got like stuck there. And just pushing on it because there's like a little gap where some of the inside of the tooth is like exposed. I think that might have been why. If someone casts tooth and hurt spell, I would appreciate that. Okay. You see, the enemies that were there were all just basic enemies you can already find in Galados Isle, which made them not that hard to deal with. However, these enemies didn't have faces attached to them, leaving them either eyeless, mouthless, or just lacking a face in general. This also made it so that whenever my team defeated any enemies, they would not add up to my rescued faces counter, which bumped me out. I'm assuming it's bummed me out at the time because not only was I getting barely enough EXP, I was also missing out on the potential extra upgrades with the lack of faces I was rescuing. I even chalked all this up to be just an annoying some annoying gimmick which only this quest had for some reason and continued onwards. As I continued, what fueled my curiosity and my drive to complete this annoying quest. Oh my god, my tooth is hurting again. Fuck. Why? Is it the air? Is it like how? I don't know why it's doing that. It's not fun. I hate this. Okay. As I continued, what fueled my curiosity and my drive to complete this annoying quest further was the interactions my team members had with each other. Usually, team members of your party would have quirky interactions with either each other or the environment around them. But what I got was different, to say the least. During the second level in, my teammates had an interaction along the lines of this. You're not the only one who heard that, right? Heard what? Well, while we were battling that monster earlier on, I swear I heard something scurrying behind us. What? Are you serious? I'm not joking. Just don't keep your guard down for long, okay? Jeez, okay, I won't. What strikes me as odd with that whole interaction was how out of place and aggressive it was. My Mies genuinely seemed to be off edge during the whole trip. Even when I was Even when I'm out of battle, some Mies just wore this worried expression on their faces, on their face, blah, and just looked from side to side as they walked. And soon they started to have more unusual interactions. Do you ever get the feeling you're being watched? Oh, come on, I only look at you because of the HP bananas you hoard. No, genuinely, don't you feel it? Because I have, and it's been driving me crazy. Look, we'll be all fine. Let's just get moving and get to the next inn. If only it felt like that. I I see them. I see them below. I'm sure you got the idea now, but it just weirded me out how stuff like this got in a Nintendo game to begin with. Like, yeah, sure, you could argue that some parts of this game they just get away with some suggestive stuff. I mean, there's also like Dark Lord, not Dark Lord, Dark Curse's backstory, which the implications behind it is pretty dark. Um, God, that backstory though, like I'm sorry, I really like Dark Curse. I love how the dialogue isn't 100% out of place with the real dialogue you see in game. It just doesn't feel entirely out of place. Yeah, it doesn't feel entirely out of place. I'm being watched from the bottom of the screen right now. But this overall tone was just off-putting to me. Even back then, I was weirded out by the dialogue. As I continued into the final level and fully topped off my part with the gear and resources to prepare for some grandiose boss fight back at the inn, I realized that the the tread to the boss was long, like really, really long. I wondered why this was I wondered why this was because levels dedicated to one boss fight usually only take around 3-ish seconds to get to. There's not one in the pyramid, I think it is, that takes a while, and I hated that one. I don't know why I'm giving my commentary about my Miitopia experiences. Keep checking to see my parents come home yet. They have not. Good. Okay. That that is until one of my teams fell down a hole. That was regular for that was normal for regular levels, obviously, to get a party member taken away from you, but at what seemed to be a boss level, at the time I thought it was just another difficulty spike in the already frustrating quest. But then another one fell down a hole. Then another. Eventually, it was just me, alone, by myself, with nothing but the moonlight to accompany my me, due to this due to this trek taking so damn long. I was wondering when something at least interesting would happen. Only then did I encounter something that rewarded my curiosity. Hello! It was a cutscene of my me readying up against a boss, but the boss that was there was just a me. Not the usual NPC me's that you would see in clothing or the like. No, it was just the default female me model. Like the ones you would see in the me maker, except with one crucial aspect of it missing. Her face wasn't there. The only hint of a face even being there at all is its nose, just being present despite the black outline for it also not being there. The me had no animations at all. Hell, not even an idle animation either. It just stood there in a static pose, unmoving. And to add a cherry on top, the slightly creepy pie the to blah, to add a cherry uh, on top the slightly creepy pie off. Okay. The Mii's name seemed to be ripped in all caps, as indicated by the text below the enemy whenever a battle was started. When the battle commenced, it was my turn to take a swing at ripped with my sword. So I took the first hit. She didn't play a hit animation of any kind, still standing there, seemingly unfazed, with only a dent made in its large health bar. I hit her again. Nothing. I used a dark eye slash. Nothing. Even a super spin slash. Still nothing. This only just added to my annoyance towards this quest. Why would the developers add this quest? All it did was waste my time with nothing but busy work that doesn't benefit me at all. So what's the point? But as I was thinking this, I saw something, well, odd is one way of putting it. Stop. Ripped responded in a speech bubble after enough hits, with a speech bubble appearing over her head like any other enemy. She didn't continue any further, so I took a swing again at it again. What are you doing? I was curious to see where this would go, so I continued attacking. The following is what I remember from the dialogue that was exchanged. Stop hurting me. Leave me alone. Please. I told you, get out. It was only then the rift started to attack back, sending out blow after blow of what seemed to be melee attacks. I say what seemed to be because, as to be expected, no animations were used for whenever ripped through any punches. Just gliding towards my meat in a constant A pose. It dealt some minor damage, around 10 to 15 from what I remember, so defending myself from it wasn't difficult, just really, really tedious. But even so, more text appeared in the Mii's speech bubbles. Do you even know what it's like? Being stuck in one place? I hate it here. It's so cold. I just want out. That's all I ever wanted. Rift seemed to get more frantic as the battle went on, with it taking up more turns and dealing more damage. The arena slowly started to distort as textures began to wrap and contort more as some of the arena's geometry. I think this is warp and contort. I'm sorry. I cannot. I'm sorry. I cannot read. As more of the arena's geometry began to become more jagged, almost looking like spikes protruding from the ground beneath us. But the battle continued. I wish I could feel warmth. I wish I could leave and rid myself of this place. I wish these bars of ones and zeros would just break already. I I wish. Demi stopped her assault, just standing back in its place. I want out. I want out. Let me out. It twitched. The only movement I've ever seen from it so far, and it was my turn. Let me make sure my parents aren't home. A moment. Okay, I thought I heard their car. After attacking her again, a cutscene played out, but what happened during it was just she moved her left arm and hand to the right side of her face before she jolted with a tearing sound accompanying it. The arm pulled back, shaking as it did so, revealing that Rip was taking off her own skin, jolting in pain from what it was doing to herself. The leftover skin from the right side of her face was damaged like torn plastic as the tearing just got worse and worse with what seemed to be blood leaking out of its now exposed skull. All the while I can hear her letting out a long, agonizing groan as she pulls and pulls off her skin further. God, that skull. Look, there are many skulls that are seen in Miitopia, obviously, but none were stylized or depicted with such detail, whatever the hell that was. The skull was covered in crimson flesh and muscle, wrapping around its form with two pitch black empty eye sockets. I cannot read, and expose the nose. When Rip pulled back her skin further, I saw the teeth and gums. The teeth were long and thin, which juxtaposed the color that they were with, which was a yellowish white color. Not a completely dirty yellow, nor were they pure pearly white either, just teeth. and the gums were a dark red, as if they've been bleeding internally or infected somehow. The me, with one final rip, had now fully taken off its flesh, her red cranium now fully exposed for me to see. She limped and staggered in place, like she was exhausted from the self-harm she had done to herself. It slowly and shakily raised its head to look forward, before saying it in a now distorted, gargled, and raspy tone, "Let me out now." Okay, this is how you do gore. Yes, absolutely. Oh my god, it's really good. Oh my god. She grabbed onto her own hair and crouched before shooting its head into the air while letting out a loud, distorted scream, pulling at her own hair while doing so. The scream seemingly caused everything around the arena to contort even further, as not only had everything gotten even more worse than before, but the lighting was completely out of whack. What was once a night sky was now just a black void with a crimson hue over everything, the rocks, the water, even the moss foliage. There we go, I said it. Was now covered in a murky blood red shade. It was at this point that I was shaken up. Sure, I saw my fair share of horror playthroughs, but again, this was a Nintendo game. What the hell was any of this doing in a Nintendo game? I didn't I didn't have time to think about that as she lunged forward, dealing a massive amount of damage on impact. As soon as it happened, I rushed to my HP sprinkles to get a full heal, and since none of my other party members were not here with me, I knew that fighting her was going to be a massive pain. But I tried my hardest anyway. I used every single heavy hitting move I could select, even replenishing MP as I did so. But it all proved useless due to Rip's large health pool. Another thing I noticed was how Rip moved throughout the battle. While she did have actual animations now, the way it was actually animated felt more smooth and less cartoony than what's usually seen in Miitopia. Like it was mocapped rather than fully animated by someone. Even her attack animations now were just her lunging at my knee, punching and assaulting him, every attack making the screen and audio blip in and out, as if every swing she threw will cause the game to lag. Even her idle animations were just her limping and staggering in place like a wounded animal. The me ranted on, still having that same glitched out zombie-like voice. All I wanted was to have peace, blah, was to have peace. All I wanted was solace, but all I feel is pain. Foliage, redemption. I'm trying. I'm trying. Oh god. Just then, she let out another scream. Only this time, it was in the form of an attack. The attack gave my me the terror status effect, which didn't let my me attack for another turn. This wouldn't be a problem for me if I was fighting with my other teammates, but to me fighting solo, I had to tank Rip's attacks whenever she used that scream. The worst part about those attacks was that those screams didn't sound like they came from a sound effect library or anything of the sort. All of them sounded too visceral, too guttural, and different each and every time. Like some sort of out of tune. Dude, I would piss my Mies off constantly. Not I, Adelaide would piss my Mies off constantly because he would usually use that because I would give him the female pop star outfit. Ripped pop star question mark? He would piss everybody off because he would continuously use like out of tune the second he got it. I don't know why. I try and try, but all I could do is delay the inevitable as my sprinkles dwindled more and more. This was it. All I could do was strike and swing, hoping that she would just be defeated as the surrounding arena never stopped its ever-growing chaos. I was so close. Her health was just a few sword swings away from being depleted. I was so close. I knew I could defeat her if I just held out a little more. I tried and tried, but just when I thought I was nearly at the end, Ripped was able to attack, and my health wasn't enough to hold against her. My me fell to the ground. Team Harvey lost. That was it. The battle was over, and I had lost. At first, I thought it would just play the usual cutscene of me getting up and running back to the inn, but instead it was something unexpected, to put it lightly. It was Ripped and my me, who is now being held by Rip's spear hands. She stared at him, her her clench shaking as she did so, before throwing my me onto the ground. She then pounced on him, only to start wailing on my knee. Didn't make any expression while all this was going on, but I could see in Rip's movements and actions were just all I could see in Rip's movements and actions were just pure malice. Oh shit, my parents are home. Oh shit, okay. I have to stop now. Because I'm in the living room because my sister is playing guitar in our room. Fuck. Okay. I will continue this um next stream, I promise. And if I don't, tell me now. Well, tell me when it happens. Okay. Uh, goodbye. I'm sorry.